In this video I'm assembling the engine, ready to get it running. I turned it over a while back just to make sure there was oil pressure, and it was really slow, so I think the starter motor was well past its best. So the first job was to swap that. As it happened, I had a spare new one anyway. So it just unbolts with two 3/8 UNF bolts, which are awkward to get to and a little bit stiff. So I used the air ratchet, much more convenient. The air ratchet is not especially quick as a tool. It rotates relatively slowly, but it's a lot easier than doing it by hand. And then with the bolts out, the starter motor can just be slid out, manoeuvred round a corner. Take out the 4-cylinder engine, it gets a little awkward on some of the other ones, and the new one goes in. Of course, the new one won't naturally sit in place, so you have to put the bolts through. Starter motor, the shim, the spacer, and finally the engine backplate and bell housing. Hold it all in place and put the nut on. And then, with the second bolt in place, a little bit of manoeuvring to get it to fit. And just tighten it all up. Again, the air ratchet. This will do to a moderate torque. It's not like a windy gun impact driver, so you still need to torque it up with the proper torque wrench afterwards. But there wasn't much point having video of that. So I got to the point where I wanted to fit the carbs. I needed obviously then to fit the throttle linkage. I had a throttle linkage. That's nowhere near the right one. This is quite obviously off one of the 6-cylinder cars. I don't know what's happened to my original, and they're not available. But they're pretty straightforward. Choke linkage here is very straightforward, so I reckon I can make it. So this linkage is got a couple of these lost motion units, but they just bolt on. 8mm, well, 5/16 inch shaft with an arm. The original one for the Mark III has an extra bit sticking out which rests against the choke linkage as a throttle end stop, return stop. It's not on the later cars because the pedal has its own stop on the later cars. So I want to do it right. So I got a bit of steel rod, cut it down to the right length, and I got a bit of 3mm plate. It's a bit thicker than the original. The original looks like probably 2, but hey, 3mm was what I got. So I'd marked on the approximate shape I wanted, and it was just a matter of cutting it out. Start with an ordinary hacksaw, for more control, and then the air saw for speed. Make a single cut, so second cut with the hacksaw. There you go. That's the piece. Needs a bit of cleaning up around the edges and rounding off there, but it's basically the right piece. Now I just want to check against the actual carburetors, make sure that it's right. So with this in there, it should rest against this. Just need to push the... and lose a little bit of off the end here, which is no bad thing. But well, the camera battery ran out while I was cleaning this up and shaping it, but you can see what I've done, and it just nicely taps against the choke shaft there. It's a little bit horizontal, meaning that I'm not going to get a full 90 degrees of movement from the push rod, which is actually okay because you don't get a full 90 degrees there. Means it's going to be quite sharp at the top end and quite progressive at the bottom end, which is the right way round. I'll put it together and see. If it's disastrous, I can always come back and rework it. Well, it turned out that the other camera battery was also pretty dead, so I didn't get any film of the actual welding process, but here you can see there's the finished item. I've plated it, electroplated it. It's a nickel zinc plating rather than a chrome, but looks nice and shiny, and fitted it up. It just needs adjusting. So I want to set these with a little bit of lost motion. The exact amount is going to need adjusting later, so for the time being I'm just going to put this washer in there as a reference point. Of course, I've done that on the wrong side, but never mind.